Hello everybody and welcome to week 37's week in review here on my channel of teaching myself how to draw. We got the garbage man outside, but don't worry about him. He's my friend. He actually is. He's a nice guy. So we'll start by looking at my poses. I think his name is Wayne. I honestly don't know his name, but I think it's Wayne. I don't really have much to say about these figures except you'll notice that I'm trying to do just very simple stuff this week. I can't remember how that varies from last week, but well, he's really going at it out there. I'm trying to basically not draw in too much of the details this week. I was just trying to get the main shapes down. So I was just, for the torso, I just do this, and then like just a kind of a circle to separate, and then just, you know, whatever for the pelvis, right? I'm not trying to, because I feel like before, and like maybe in the months prior, I was doing a little too much detail. So I tried to cut back and just do kind of the simple shapes and just give them like a cross contour line that's going around the center line here and like the bottom, you know? Not too much else aside from that. Just keeping it really simple. And it's actually allowed me to kind of finish these. I mean, some of them don't have arms or heads. See you, Wayne. See you next time. Some of them aren't finished. There's always some that I fail to finish, right? But even these, like, there's only one, maybe two, maybe three that aren't finished, and they're all 90 seconds, right? I finished all the others, which is pretty cool. And maybe this guy. And there's no head here. But like, I'm doing a better job at actually finishing these. You know, like these are all pretty much finished, right? Again, every now and then there's a missing head, all right? But you know what I mean? Like, keeping it simple lets me, I think it looks better for one thing, and I'm able to actually finish them, which is kind of cool. Really, all I'm doing is just trying to find the main shapes and then just looking at angles. This leg is going at about this angle and it's about this long. It connects like that, you know? That's all I'm doing with all of these. I'm just thinking of the balance. And then if I have extra time, just simple cross contour stuff. Just to keep this like 3D stuff in my mind, because I'm not very good at kind of visualizing that on my own. How these cross contour lines should look, you know, and even stuff like this. Like the center line, sometimes I feel like it should be, like the way I draw it in isn't the way it would actually look. So I'm practicing that stuff too. Not just on the legs, but I find the legs, arms and legs are the easiest part to just really quickly throw them in, you know. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my poses lately. Some days are better than others, of course, but this is basically exactly what I want to be doing. Basically exactly. Just really simple, just a few cross contour lines, and then just proper proportions and angles, trying to get the balance right, you know? That's it. That's all I want to be doing with this, at least for now. Maybe later I'll come back to, you know, adding a little more detail. But like some of this stuff, you know, when it starts to get really sketchy like this, that's where I can tell I'm trying to copy too much detail from the reference, you know? And I get a little lost when I do that. I want to just keep it really simple, you know, just throw in a circle for the shoulders and then just connect the arms, you know? That's fine. Doesn't need to be much more than that. So this is today's here. I think all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. Again, I usually have nothing to say with the figures, but that's just kind of what I've been thinking as I've been going through this. I use it as like a practice, mainly like this stuff, you know? Thinking about how these cross contour lines, particularly like the center line of the torso, because it gives you like the angle of the torso, right? I don't know, it's really hard for me to visualize some of these, the way it like kind of turns as the pose leans back or whatever. So I'm trying to like figure that stuff out. It's really confusing, but I feel like it's also kind of intuitive. So I'm kind of getting it. I just need a little bit more practice, right? practice seeing that sort of a thing. So yeah, that's my poses for this week. Let's get into the stuff I drew. This one's like an outlier. I've never drawn like an animal before, but I'm continuing Hollow October here. This was the 24th. Almost the final week, but I don't know. This one was a lot of fun. I recreated I never remember what it's called. It's an old Japanese drawing from like some temple or something with like a deer riding on a cloud, and he's got like a tree on his back. I can't remember the story about it. It's like the emperor was like fleeing or something, and then he was saved by a deer. I don't know. But it's a cool image. So I think the prompt for this day was like furry or fursona or something. So I just drew Kirin fauna with this kind of thing. But I had a lot of fun. This is the first day I really kind of messed with all this texture stuff, and like. So like each kind of section has a different texture, you know? These leaves have kind of a different one, and then there's kind of this splotchy one here. This is like the first day where I kind of figured out how to really apply this texture stuff. I never really tried before. I would usually just put it kind of on top of everything and then set it to overlay or whatever, but I was using masks and stuff, and I think it adds a lot of... I really like this kind of canvas feel in the back, right? I don't know, it's just kind of cool. So that's something I want to work more on, is texture stuff. So and like layer effects, things like that. So anyway, that's that. Next, what was this prompt? Apron, I think? Probably apron. So I drew Meow here. Do I have anything to say? I guess not. I'm really struggling with these folds, you know? Fluffy. What's the word? Frilly. These frilly folds, they come up a lot in like kind of fancy clothing, or you know, like that sort of thing, or even like skirts, you know. I'm getting a little better at thinking about how these skirts look, but these frilly things are really like confusing. I don't really have anything to say about this. Honestly, this feels like I drew this 3 years ago, but it was like earlier this week, so I don't know. I kind of forgot. This one was fun though. They've all been really fun. The Hollow October logo, figuring out how to do the backgrounds in particular has been really fun as well, oddly enough. So that was that. Next one I did this. This one gave me a lot of trouble, so it looks a little what do you say, like not unfinished, but like less detailed compared to the others, I think. I wound up cutting off this. I couldn't figure out where this shoulder was, and like I don't know, these arms gave me a lot of trouble, but I think in the end it looks fine. This is Ina here eating a cookie. I don't remember what the prompt was, like eating food or something. But yeah, very simple. Not a whole lot going on here. For the shadow, I just tried to make something that looked cool. And I think it looks nice. Again, I think doing the background was the most fun, I think, part, maybe. Yeah, not a whole lot to say there. Whatever, let's just move on. This one was, the prompt was onsen. So I drew marine here. Boy, isn't it crazy how much work? You know, looking at like all these things, I've really put a lot of work into this Hollow October thing, eh? Good lord. It's like 3 or 4 hours a day. So this is Marine here, and Noelle in the back in the onsen. She's losing her mind because it's too hot. That's the idea, so she thinks, you know, that sort of thing. I like thinking of kind of like funny compositions if I can, like something that makes me laugh, if possible, is really, really fun to draw. This one gave me a lot of trouble because I had this idea in my mind, but I couldn't figure out. I think the first half hour of the stream was just me trying different compositions and like sitting there and thinking to myself, like, how am I gonna, you know, where could I put the camera? How am I gonna make this work? What's the background gonna look like? It was really, really hard. And ultimately I wound up doing something that's pretty flat. Like I was thinking of kind of like a more of a perspective thing with like kind of like almost fisheye, not fisheye, but like a bit of a wider angle from below or something, and I couldn't picture that in my mind. So I just kept it a little more simple, you know, and it looks fine. I'm happy with this one, right? So this one was really fun too, using like this. I used like a few cloud brushes that I have to do like the steam. because before I added some of the effects and like made her more red, it wasn't really coming across. You know, the whole point of this. It wasn't really working until I added that stuff near the end. So, but yeah, it was fun. So that's that one. Didum, didum. This one is, I think the prompt was glasses. So I used these cool shades that Kira drew for me, or edited, stuck some stickers on a pair of glasses, I guess, for me, as reference for this. This one was a lot of fun. I feel like this was the first one where I didn't really get caught up anywhere. Like from start to finish, I just kind of kept going. Usually I get held up somewhere, like I mentioned in the previous one here, I got stuck on the composition. This one I just kind of kept going. I never really got held up anywhere, so it looks a little more complete. But it took about the same time as all the other ones did, right? I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. But this one was a lot of fun. I might, I think I have this saved to upload as like a time-lapse later. I'll do like a bit of a commentary on it or something. Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. I like the pose. I couldn't really figure out where this leg really connects, but I think it looks okay, right? Like as I was drawing it, I was like, is this correct? It's good enough, you know, and then I just moved on. There's something about just letting it be, you know, that I'm learning to, you know, how to do that a little better with all this fan art that I've been doing for Hollow October, because I used to get held up on this stuff, you know, especially when I'm doing fan art, I want to do a good job of it, you know? So, anyway, that was that one. I don't really have anything else to say. These hands were a little hard. I think this one's kind of, it's just a little lame, right? But it's fine. Hands are fun. Didum, didum. And last but not least, we have this one here. What was the prompt again? I forgot. The prompt was like spooky. No, it was monochrome. That's right. But I wanted to do something kind of spooky. So the idea was like a POV of getting strangled by Toume here, who, by the way, is coming back on November 1st. Yay. Hooray. But this one was a lot of fun. Again, I did this one really fast. I did just a few rough sketch layers. I did like a rough sketch, cleaned it up, and then I just went over with this cool brush pen, which is, I think, this one? Yeah, isn't that cool? It just has such a nice feel to it that kind of works for like a sort of like a tormented, scary kind of imminent death kind of feel, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one as well. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say, do I? This is my submission for this week's prompt, by the way. That was one of the other things I drew with this, the prompt. What is it again? A Night to Remember. For some reason I interpreted that as being strangled to death by Toume. But anyway. So that's my week in review. It's pretty crazy. Again, looking back at this, there's a lot of stuff I drew. I've been doing a lot of stuff this month. So yeah. Pretty happy with it. And that'll be that, eh? So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back next week with another week in review. Maybe I'll try and remember to do things. I like this color, you know. I'll vary the color a little bit so it's not always black. But yeah. So far so good. I'll keep going. We're about like 100 days away from 1 year, right? Exactly, I think, right? Isn't this day 265? So that's kind of cool. So I'll keep going. I'm not going to stop. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week with another one, hey? Hooray! Cut.